Hi guys, my name is Pangura and today's video is going to be a little bit different because tomorrow I will be recording a rock band here in my little home studio and I'll take you along for the setup and the recording process. As you can see, there are more toms than I usually have on my kit, and that's because the drummer of this band, he's used to playing with 3 toms, and that's why I always keep one handy. Those are the usual mics I have going here. Spaced pair for the overheads, snare top, snare bottom, one microphone on the kick this time, SM57s on all of the toms, but I have one more microphone set up here in the room next to the drums, and this one actually captures some great ambience. I've already tried this one out and it really sounds nice. Also, this time the overheads are a little bit higher. So yeah, we are going for an ambient sound, and this door is going to be closed because me and the rest of the band will be listening on monitors while the drummer will be sitting right here and listening on headphones. Actually, he will be bringing his cymbals and snare, so that will be different. I may have to place the overheads higher or lower depending on the sound and the brightness of his cymbals, but yeah, it's all gonna be all right. I think that it's really important to prepare before such things, if you have the time for it, of course. But in this occasion I have the time, so as you saw, I already prepped the drums, and now I'm going to label the channels on my mixer, and I also set up the project in Pro Tools, and I'm going to show you that later. And yeah, see you tomorrow with the band in here. The first thing that we did when they arrived was to set up the drums. The drummer added one more cymbal on his left, so I decided to move my overheads a little bit. The overall character of these cymbals is very bright, so I got my microphones up around 50 inches from the center of the snare. The next task was to connect the multi effect of the guitarist to the mixer using the balanced line output, keeping in mind that we will overdub it later. The bass guitar is going through one of my external preamps and then the Pro VLA II tube compressor. We ended up re-recording it because I didn't really dig the sound. I wanted that 1176 style compression, which I was already using for the snare. I put the singer as far from the speakers as I could, cause those will be just scratch vocals and the sound doesn't really matter. In order to prevent feedback even more, I put it on figure of 8 and angled it in such way so that the speakers are rejected as much as possible. I am checking each microphone separately and then making a rough mix for monitoring. That way, if there are any problems for solving, I will do that with mic positioning rather than EQ. After that, I asked him to play a groove and he did that. We finally got to the point where the magic happens. I love the guys and the girls from Fifth Hour Band, cause they are just awesome. But one of my favorite things about them is their groove. We are not using a metronome, and the idea here is to capture a real live performance, but in a studio environment, and then just overdub guitars, vocals, and everything else. They had a pretty clear idea for the song in their heads, but we had to work on the bridge a little bit, because at first it sounded like this. Go and listen to the song now, then come back here and drop a comment how much of a game changer is the new bridge. After everything about the structure of the song was figured out, the band proceeded to play 3 takes of the song from start to finish, which, as you will hear shortly, sound great even with scratch vocals, without half of the production, and through the microphone of my iPhone. Now, here is a moment when being at a home studio with a king-sized bed in the control room comes very handy. Everyone gathered behind me and we listened through all 3 takes. We decided to use the second take for the whole song, but replaced the bridge from the third take. With the right compressor and a bit more drive from my 1073 clone, the sound is much closer to what I imagined it should be. You could say, why re-record something when you could fix it in the mix? Well, less processing in post-production always equals better sound. And also, she could hear herself better and re-recorded it in basically one take with 1 or 2 punch-ins. So, generally, it was better. First, we did one whole pass of the song using the same setup as before, just so I can have more flexibility in editing and mixing. When I'm working with such talented musicians, I like to let them paint the picture. I'm only suggesting where we need more of some color and where we need less of it. This is exactly what we did with this overdubbing process. After those beautiful gentle chords, we were all unanimous that we have to power up my Marshall amplifier, get a Les Paul and chuck some overdriven chords on the choruses. The only thing left at this point was to record vocals. She is so good that this took only an hour, and she blew our minds off at the end. We had restricted time because the band had to travel 3 hours to get to my house, and it even started snowing. So we ended up doing everything you saw in this video for a total of 5 hours. Now I'm leaving you with this beautiful performance, and until next time.
Като счупено стъкло, сърцето крещи, но остава